do I feel good today? What is up, DTL Universe? It is Football Friday right here at the Brand every single weekday morning. We are live on Stadium, also simulcast for all you OGs and degenerates out there watching on our YouTube page. Hit that like button on your way in. YouTube TV, Amazon Prime TV, Roku TV, the Stadium app, watchstadium.com. Now, you guys know we have tons of content here at the Brand. For the next 60 minutes, we're going to get you set for the weekend in college football, NFL football, fantasy, prize picks. We've got it all, and also a 5-pack of soccer plays from our man Big Chuck. But as you know, we always look back on the day that was, and I would never sit here and dislocate my shoulder, patting myself on the back, but look at your boy last night. I feel really good about the minus 20,000, by the way, but that's more of a 6-0 day, because if you're a premium member, you're a member of the crew, then you know I laddered that Jamar Chase at 7 catches, and he went 11 for 264, sweat-free for your boy. That's just kind of how we get down. Now, I need you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I need you to hit the like button, share the show every single day. This is all the content that we put out, including a brand new episode every weekday of DTL, the podcast. And today, Weekend Wages, 3 p.m. Eastern time. That is a crew exclusive. And the podcast video drops around 3 Eastern time. Audio at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Now, AB, good morning. Oh, you're feeling feisty this morning in all the Raiders gear. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, crew. Hey, great job yesterday. That was fantastic, man. Like, anytime you go 6-0, it's like, it's huge.
I'll take it. Now, they're kind of teasing me about the minus 20,000. Scott says, I love it. I mean, that's the one that I sweated for about 4 minutes. He had that literally, AB, in the first 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah, he really did, man. Like, that's what I was laughing about, because it was like, all right, how's this going to go down? Oh, that was good. All right, we're good.
And Big Tommy, he hit his 2 last night from Primetime Live. If people aren't tuning in every Thursday, Sunday, and Monday nights, AB, I can't help them. I can't help them. They get so many more picks. And did you notice, AB, who hit the points bands last night as well?
I think that would be
yes, we did.
Coach, if you don't mind, let me. Everybody. Do you want to do the work?
That just made my day. So without further ado, Howie Schwab would have loved this day. What are our selections today, sir?
He would have loved this one, right? And look, we go college basketball. Big one tonight. We got North Carolina at Kansas. All right. Allen Fieldhouse here. The Fog. All right. We go North Carolina plus 7.5. Kansas minus 7.5. You're going over 158.5, which, by the way, that total is on the move going up. Over or under 158.5. Polls in the chat. Vote now. We'll update as we always do at the end of the show.
Oh, man. Everybody knows the Jayhawks are my squad. That was my dream growing up, to play for Kansas. There just weren't a whole lot of 6'3" forwards that couldn't jump playing Division I, Big 12. So I didn't make it down, Phil.
Tough program to make. All right, that's a tough roster to make.
My point guard in high school, though, he played at Kansas State. True story. Yeah. And his brother played in the NBA.
You were telling me about that. Yeah. Also, not an easy roster to make. Like,
no, not at all. All right, great vibe, great start to the morning, but I got the best crew in the business, and they are ready to go. So, AB, if you don't mind, it is now time for the picks. Oh, and look who I got today on a Football Friday. First and foremost, this man is now a legend in Los Angeles, the city of angels, all over LA radio yesterday. DG, good morning.
Morning, Coach. Good morning, crew. Yeah, I was able to go on with Roger Lodge yesterday, Anaheim baseball radio. It was really nice, and so we talked a lot of Grizzlies, Lakers, and stuff, and so he enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I think the fans enjoyed it. Probably not, but we hope they did.
He probably doesn't enjoy you calling it Anaheim baseball station.
I don't know what it's called.
It's Angels Radio. Angels Radio flagship station, the Sports Lodge, every single day from 3 to 7.
There you go.
All right. Well done, DG. All right. Now, this man, he's just like licking his chops. He's all over our fantasy. He's all over our prize picks. Soupy, good morning, sir.
Good morning, everybody. I had Jamar Chase most receiving yards last night. That was also a no sweat.
That 264 that he rolled in with, you're like, anybody else? Anybody else? Oh, man, awesome. And he is here with our 5-pack coming up at the bottom of the hour. You got to stick around for that, obviously. The man from the Dirty, Big Chuck, good morning.
And Coach, crew, yeah, congratulations to you and DG. Yeah, a big weekend ahead. I'm ready to get it going.
Let's get it going. Before we get to our picks, so we got to look back at – it's kind of nice, AB, isn't it, that when you do a show like Primetime or the morning show yesterday, and everything you see, all the work you do, all the handicapping, and everything plays out almost to a T. I said 35-34. It was 35-31. Final score was 35-34. Everything we thought happened, and the Bengals still, like the first time, couldn't get the job done.
No, and that's the crazy part. Look, we said on the show last night, Joe Burrow would throw it 60 times last night in that game. The game script was going to lay it out. Then they took away our interception. We had it, and he double tapped the same foot. And then the play after it, they took away a Joe Burrow rushing tip. I was like, my God, people, like, you're going to have a perfect day, and in 2 plays, you've just ruined me. But no, man, like, that's how it played out. Brutal ending there, but yeah, man, it was
brutal
how we broke it down. Yeah.
All I saw on my phone when I walked out of the play last night, by the way, my daughter was amazing. It was, there was a defensive pass interference. There was something else, like 2 or 3 penalties on that last 2-point conversion. But DG, early in the game, I was able to watch like the first 30 minutes or so, and I see number 88, Mike Gesicki. I'm getting ready to go into the club. He breaks out. He's at the 2. Ball goes to him. I'm like, tackled at the 2. I was that close to the gym last night. What's your take on that incredible football game?
So when I saw that, I wasn't able to actually catch y'all's show live. And so I went back immediately, was scrolling through who had that gym, and I saw it was Coach, and I was joyous. That's what I was. I was happy. Then Chase Brown, the vulture himself, gets in. So, you can't play that guy, obviously. He's under 1,000.
Can't play him. I did fade him, and I was 16 yards under that Soupy. So I feel like right now my fantasy mind is just cracking right now. Last night, that had to start off for a lot of people who played Burrow, who played Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, he may have won the MVP in that fourth quarter last night.
Yeah, there was an incredible game, especially. The one bet I did sweat was the Lamar over 29.5, but he hit that probably in the last few minutes. This is how it's going for me in the DTL League. I played against Jamar Chase.
Oh my God!
I'm already done for this one. Yeah, it's.
Oh my God! It is hilarious. Our fantasy
it's Friday. He's done in fantasy.
Done.
You're done after one game. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you have Justin Jefferson. You're finished. Big Chuck, last night, man, I tell you what, all over the board. But at the end of the day, if you're just looking at wins and losses, the Ravens, to me, they are not a team right now, as good as they can be, that to me is in the same conversation with the Bills and the Chiefs.
That's a scary team. That's why I liked them so much when we did our projections to start the season. I thought they were going to come off and have a good season, especially losing to the Chiefs. And then I wonder if that answers that debate. Do you go for 2 there? Do you kick the extra point, play for overtime? So I'm interested to see what everyone's feedback is on that one. So they had opportunity. Me personally, I'm tying it up and taking my chances. But, hey, they rolled the dice and plenty of penalties and situations that could have been called, but at the end of the day, the Ravens got the victory.
AB, you have a take on that 2-point conversion?
100%. Look, this is why it was terribly stupid. Now, the thought process, I get. I totally understand it. You're going against John Harbaugh, the best special teams and 2-point conversion coach in the NFL. He cut his teeth on that. You know what he coaches his players to do? Your receiver goes out, they mug you and tackle you. You know why? Because they never throw a flag. That was coached. That's what Harbaugh does with that. Because what are you going to do if they throw a flag? Move it up an inch and have to do it again? You didn't even throw it to the end zone. That was incredibly stupid. You know you're in a bad spot when you're Zach Taylor. You call a timeout to get that cheat look at the defense, come back out, and they didn't change a damn thing, knowing that it didn't matter. We're sending everybody on a dog blitz, and you're not going to have a second to do it, and I'm tackling your wide receiver. It was so stupid, dude. Know your enemy. I get the thought process, but not against that guy. He's the best in the game at it. Of course he knows every trick on how to stop it.
Boom and boom. All right, we'll get more takes at the break from you guys, but we got to get to the breaks right now. AB, incredible analysis by you. Sometimes you got to be smarter. Sometimes on the sideline, it matters. All right, let's get to our picks for the day. We got some fire ones all throughout the weekend. AB, I'm coming right back to you. Start us off.
All right, we're going first college football here. A little money line parlay. Two teams. Beautiful Iowa Hawkeyes here on the money line. And we're going to take Memphis. That's right, DG. We're going 2 Memphis teams in 1 week. Both of them college football tonight. Put them together, money lines, -115. Next, North Carolina, Kansas. We're going to go first half under 75. And this number is going to keep going up, so pay attention to it. But it's the first time North Carolina's taken the court against Kansas. Yeah, it's going to be a little feeling out process. I'm good with the first half under 75.
We'll see if the crew votes on perhaps the over, perhaps the spread. We'll see at the end of the show. All right, AB's got 2. Big Soupy, coming over to you. What are your 2 today?
I'm going with college football. I'm loving this Georgia Ole Miss because we are going to see a ton of points. Jackson Dart leading the nation with 3,120 passing yards, going against Georgia, who we saw gave up a lot of points to Alabama and Georgia. Carson Beck, he's been turning it over, but even when he does, Georgia's still scoring 30 points in 5 straight. And we also saw Ole Miss score maybe 52 against Arkansas. Give me that over. And I'm going with an under because Missouri and Oklahoma both are going to be one-dimensional teams. Missouri may not have Brady Cook. And do you really want to see Drew Pine throw a ball? I did. He only threw for 42 yards last week. And then Oklahoma doesn't even have a passing game against Missouri with one of the passing defense. They're going to run. They're going to bleed that clock. That's why I'm going with the under 41.
Man, a college under at 41. That is the sweat of all sweats. I mean, that's almost like a first half line. If I just looked at it, it's a first half line. But man, how bad have both of these teams fallen? Missouri, not nearly the team that they were at the beginning of the season. All right, DG, you are our guy. And we do not have a Football Friday without Indiana in house. You're up.
So Soupy gave you a little depression. Let me go ahead and pick you up a little bit with some Indiana football, -13.5. I know it's a little juicy. It's -130, but the books hate Indiana because they cover. But we're going to keep cashing with Indiana, going over Michigan at -13.5. Then we're going to pick on some Louisiana teams. And sorry, Chuck, this one's for you. But Jacksonville State -9.5 going against Louisiana Tech. It's at -120. Jacksonville State scores, and they don't stop. I want to take the over on the points. I just think they beat them outright over by 10-plus points for Jacksonville State. Then we're going to go with Texas State. First half team total, over 13.5. It's at -140. This is the juiciest one, but we're going against Louisiana Monroe. They're not good. Texas State scores like crazy. We're going to take them in the first half, over 13.5 at -140.
Boom and boom. I love that. I saw an interview yesterday with the head coach from Indiana, and they were asking him about all the quotes. And I had forgotten at the basketball game, when he got hired, he was like, Purdue sucks, and Michigan sucks, and Ohio State too. I had forgotten about that. They said, do you regret any of that? He looked right into the camera. He's like, nope. I love this dude. I love this dude. And I want them to win. I want to hear him in the playoffs. I want him to go somewhere and beat somebody down and become a superstar and stay at Indiana. Don't go to a bigger school. Stay at Indiana. All right, boys, good job. Fire picks to start. We're just getting started. Still to come, we're breaking down the weekend in college football, in NFL football. Big Chuck has his 5-pack of soccer plays, and we've got a college play that we're going to show you that you will not believe. All that, it's a vibe. It's Football Friday only on Stadium. All right, you degenerates out there, we continue on our YouTube page. And by the way, DG, right now, because the way it works, they're just a few seconds behind. I'm looking at your gorgeous face right now on Amazon Prime. But you were on LA radio yesterday. They talk about the Lakers all the time. Well, there won't be little Bronny on the bench anymore. He's going to the G-League early, 8 games in. He's out of LA. I think this is where he needs to be.
It's definitely where he needs to be. He'll develop the South Bay Lakers, I believe they're called. He'll develop there, and he'll honestly get that second year of college training, which will be a top tier level training in the NBA and the G League. And so this is the best version of himself that we're going to see, is him going there and learning to develop under their helm at South Bay.
And I think, too, AB, that it's got to be at a point where we stop bitching about him being in the league. We stop bitching about how much money he makes and just say, listen, let him go away. These games out here are kind of on local TV, but we're never going to see him on TV, and let him develop.
You let him develop. Okay, so there's 2 things with this. Number one, remember, he's going to jump from the G League to the NBA team to the G League team to the NBA team all through the season. So he's not going away. He'll be back and forth because it's close. But number 2, what you just said right there, the most important thing is that you don't practice during an NBA season, so you can't really develop and get better. So it's good for him to be in the G League if you're actually trying to develop 100%.
Charles, this is no longer a story out here in LA. It's subsided. I think everybody wants that.
He got his moment, so now it's time for him to develop. I think this is best for Bronny. They can, if someone gets injured or something, they can potentially bring him up. But I think this is great for his growth in the game.
I do too. Soupy, 15 seconds.
Yeah, don't forget, Bronny didn't play much last year because of that heart condition, and they kind of stifled him at USC. So this is, like DG mentioned, this is sort of a second year of college and development for him. I think it's a great move.
Which is why he should have stayed in college. If LeBron's going to play another year or two, to me, that's the only reason he came out of college, is to make sure he got that moment with his dad, which he did. And now you go to the G League, he's making $7 million in that contract, which is the most ever at that drafted position. It's crazy, but that's the NBA. All right, we are back on Stadium in just 5 seconds. All right, welcome back on Stadium, YouTube TV, Roku TV, Amazon Prime. It's a vibe on a football Friday. Now, it's a big week in the NFL. And AB, we started off great last night, 35-34, a huge AFC North matchup. And as now we get into the rest of November, the rest of December, we're going to start to see some really key matchups. But there's also some really key players that are coming back this week. None bigger than in Tampa, where the 49ers at 4-4, coming off a bye week, they get their best player back, which is why the number on the road is a robust 6.5. Do the books have it wrong now that CMC is coming back on Sunday?
I mean, I can't imagine that San Francisco is going to run him out with like 100% distribution. I mean, they ran that guy like Derrick Henry and the Titans 32 times a game, right? He's got to be on some kind of a pitch count here. But man, I'm fascinated to see it.
Me too. DG, I've heard on some national radio, and this is blasphemy to me, is that Todd Bowles' job is on the line, that if they have a long losing streak, they lost their 2 best wide receivers, and the Bucs still took the Chiefs to overtime last Monday night. So explain this to me.
I like Tampa Bay here. The plus 230 is a little enticing. It is a home game. They're honestly losing, but they're staying close. So the 6.5 is definitely would be a play for me. But I love Kittle in this game. I think he's going to go against Tampa Bay, who gives up a lot of yards to the tight end, and they don't give up a lot of yards to the actual running back and rushing yards. And so I like Tampa Bay here at the plus 6.5.
It's a perfect example, Charles, of a team that was rolling. They were in first place, and then you lose your biggest playmakers. And so now the Bucs, not only are they trying to just save their season, because you look at it, they're only 4-5. They're not out of this thing. It feels like they're out of this, though, and now all the attention is on the 49ers.
I think they're still in it, and I'm surprised this number. When I first took it to start the week, it was 49ers -7. Now I'm seeing 6.5. So even though that they're getting McCaffrey back and the Buccaneers are coming off playing on Monday night, I expected this number to be maybe 7.5, closer to 8. But yeah, we're still seeing the home dog catching that 6.5. But I do think we're going to see a high-scoring game. We've seen that with Tampa Bay involved. So I'm really looking at this total. I don't like the 50s, but I think we'll see some points in this one.
Well, the next level capper, I haven't really delved into this game, but I'll let all you guys know what I find when I really get into it. So you guys don't even have to worry about it. I got it. 6-0. Super, let's go to game number 2. Because right now, Jaden Daniels, 2 weeks ago, he's gone from can the rookie beat the rookie to you win with a Hail Mary. And now he goes to the Wizards game this week. Standing ovation. Steph Curry signs his jersey. This guy's turning into a superstar just like that. And now he has entered into the MVP conversation. But these are the games. First place, Pittsburgh. Russell Wilson. This number was at 2.5 overnight. It flips to 3. Do you think it stays there?
I think it does stay there. It may go back down to 2.5, but I love the Steelers in this game. I just love their pressure defense. How mobile can Jaden Daniels be when he's getting attacked on all fronts? They are going to have to run a lot of Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler. I still like the Steelers though, because Russell Wilson is getting much better after every game, and him and George Pickens are going to be a great duo.
AB, this is the first away game for Russell Wilson and the Steelers playing together. They beat the Jets. They beat the Giants at home, and they were big wins, double digits and 8 points. This is the biggest test to date. What do you see?
It is. And, Russell Wilson is pretty familiar with Dan Quinn, right? When you go back to like the Seahawks and Cowboys, they used to play often when he was in Seattle. So it's not going to be anything terribly different, but you're right in the fact that on the road now, and this is a really good football team. But I'll tell you what, you could give me the over 45 in this one. I am rolling with points from both of these teams. This might be the most fun game that we have. And look at that board. That's saying something.
That's exactly where I was going to go too, is that total. Because DG, I think sometimes the books, because these are still human beings that are making some of these lines. I think they look at a certain franchise and go, grind it out. Let's get out there and let's get to 20 and that wins. But there are a lot of franchises like the Bucs and now like the Steelers and Commanders that have kind of flipped that script.
I like this game a lot, and I obviously like Jaden Daniels. He's been my sleeper before the season started. I think this game is going to go over the 45. I love the Washington Commanders. Give me the 2.5. So I'm going to wait it out and make sure I can get a 2.5. That way is the key number. But I love Washington here. I think it's a big statement win against a Tomlin-led Steelers team. There's nothing better, especially this kind of middle to late in the season.
And game number 3, the Lions, who, in my opinion, despite the hat that I'm going to wear until the Chiefs lose, I think they're the best team in the NFL right now, Big Chuck. And the Texans, since they lost Nico Collins, they have been a train wreck. Less than 60%, I believe, completing his passes. He's getting sacked everywhere, running for his life. They're now 6-3. It was only a couple of weeks ago. We're like, man, this could be a 2 seed, a 3 seed. Now they don't even look like a playoff team. And you got the Lions and that juggernaut, and it shows because they're laying 3.5.
That being said, I still think this is a letdown spot for the Lions coming in, playing the Packers in the division game. The Texans had the 10 days off at home, catching the 3.5. I always love the home dog with 3.5. Plus, I think this is going to be more of a defensive battle. So I'm really looking at the under. That's what's really catching my eye between these two.
I don't mind the under, AB, but I severely disagree with what Big Chuck just said. The Lions, every week that we think that, or every week they go on the road and they're laying 3 or they're laying 4. Well, it's in the NFL. And they just come out and they do what Dan Campbell said in the locker room. We are built for anything, anywhere, anytime. Let's go.
They are. And I'll give you a stat to back up exactly what you just said, Coach. In the Lions' last 21 games, they've covered the first half spread in 16 of them. 16 of them.
Wow. That's coming out ready to play. It's very different than how DG approaches his job here at DTL. 21, 22 minutes in, you guys get it. All right, we've got to get to our plays and our sits. Soupy, you're our fantasy expert, despite what your DTL league might say. All right, who are you playing? Who are you sitting? Talk to me.
I'm starting with Ramondre Stevenson. He has been a little shaky this year, but he's playing 70% of the offensive snaps. He has 20 points in 2 straight games. Bears, good passing defense, bad run defense, allowing 5.1 yards per carry in the 5th most explosive plays. And now Darnell Mooney, the Falcons may not have Drake London, or he might be limited. I think it's going to be another big game for Mooney. He has 4 touchdowns in his last 4 games. I think he's going to get another one this weekend. And then we already talked about C.J. Stroud. The offensive line is not helping him out. He's running a lot. He's scrambling. And the Lions have allowed 6 touchdowns to 11 picks. I think he's going to throw multiple picks in this game. That is my sit. And then Marvin Harrison Jr., he has been boom or bust all season. He has scored only 6 points in 4 of his last 5 games. Going against the Jets secondary, I don't think so.
Charles, anything you like here?
Loving Cade Odd in this position. Baker Mayfield's number 1 target now. I think he has a big day against the 49ers.
DG.
Darnell Mooney. And I got this from Chuck, but he's had 80 plus in the last 2 games, and he's going against a Saints defense that allows a lot to the wide receiver.
Very humble that you give credit to Chuck instead of taking all the glory for yourself, Mr. LA boy. Speaking of glory, AB, I got a text overnight, and I don't know. I kind of like it. I respect it. And it was from young Peyton, our newest handicapper, newest talent here on the show. And he goes, hey, Coach, I know I didn't hit the under. I know that Big Tommy hit both of his plays on, but that's okay. Can you make sure before Soupy does his prize picks tomorrow, you make sure and show my plays because I swept the board. So Peyton's prize picks, AB, do you respect the fact that he would text me at 2 a.m. to make sure we got this in the show?
I do respect it. Now, that Joe Burrow one's going to be tough. However, no, I like it, man. The kid did great, man. I like it.
All right, Soupy. So he's already kind of taken your shine just a little bit. Where are we going today with prize picks?
I am going to start with – wait. Why is my name not up there? Why does Peyton get his name? Where's mine?
Oh,
Yikes.
I'm calling HR. I'm calling HR after this. Don't worry.
That's a little PTSD right there.
Yeah.
We'll work on that. We'll work on that right there. But give me your 3 plays. I promise you.
All right. We're going to start with Garrett Wilson. He has had 94.4 yards per game in his last 5. That is second in the league. Facing the Cardinals, who have allowed the 11th most play in zone coverage. Wilson has the 4th most yak in zone coverage this year. He is going to shine. And then on the other side of that game, I'm taking James Conner because the Jets have a great secondary. They have a terrible run defense. 26th in rush EPA and rush success. Conner has 18 plus rushes in his last 3 games. I think he's going to get a lot of chances. And then I got to continue to talk about CJ Stroud because it's having a bad game. Nico Collins might be back, which could help. But again, at the Lions, a great secondary, 6th in EPA per pass. I think it's going to be another struggle for Stroud this week.
All right. You doing all right over there, AB? Are you good?
That was one of the funniest jokes of all time, bro. That was so good.
Couple of questions from the chat. Can Peyton pronounce these names properly? That's something we're about to find out. CID, I'm ready to show up, Soupy. This is very awkward, TJ says. It is kind of awkward. It really is. Soupy, I feel like you have it coming from both sides. You've got Peyton, who's texting me. Then you got DG right above you, who, full disclosure, DG, I know you didn't see primetime last night. Soupy may or may not have talked trash on you last night.
It's worth a look.
I'll tell him right now. It is. I did.
I got a question though. Where are these goblins and demons? Like, that's the only reason I like this spot.
There weren't a lot of goblins and demons in this week's lineup.
Bro, yeah. It's after Halloween. We're out of goblins and demons, bro. It's like candy. It's half off.
Yeah, we're going to get there. We're going to educate everybody on how prize. And if you notice how Soupy talked during the thing, there are certain ways that you have to give out a play at Prize Picks. So we'll get deeper into it. We've got the rivalry started. Don't even worry about it. We've got Taco Tuesday and AB's favorite day as well. All right, we're halfway through. It's a vibe. DTL Live Football Friday right here on Stadium. All right, you degenerates out there. We continue on here on our YouTube page. And DG, let me come over to you. You are an NBA aficionado. And tonight, there's an early season game that, because we're still in smack dab in the middle of football season, isn't going to get a lot of play. But the Warriors are 7-1. What? The Cavs are 9-0. What? Which of those starts surprises you?
It's got to be the Warriors. The Warriors should not be in this position. They sent out Clay, as everybody knows, or I guess he didn't re-sign there at Golden State. But they've had a lot of good players kind of just step up a little bit. And a guy to watch is Brandon Pajinski. I think that's how you say it. I can't spell it. Don't ask. But he's a guy that's a do-everything type player for them. He's going to do really good in this league for many years to go.
Boom. AB, your thoughts on the start from either team?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Warriors as well, right? Now, their roster is solid. Like, they do a great job of scouting, right? Like, so they got some young guys out there, and Steve Kerr follows the Bulls model, man. He knows what he's doing, but I didn't think that they would start out this hot, especially with Clay being gone.
And Steph has missed a couple of games too, and they're still winning basketball games.
Yeah.
Big Cheesy says Soupy is scared of demons. Is that true, Soupy?
A little bit. I do sleep with a nightlight still.
Hey, Wake Forest does play at football tonight, so that might be a sign.
You are so fast sometimes with that stuff. Charles, can you please tell your people, Charles, to relax a little bit? Goat's head full. He's an OG. Charles, where are the football picks?
In due time, right around the corner.
In due time, right around the corner. And also, we've got a video coming up in about, 40 seconds that is going to blow you guys away in the world of soccer. I just happened to stumble on it, and that's what I love about the show. It's not just about the picks. It's also about just sports, having fun, the banter, the interaction, the seeing how many different rivals we can create for Soupy. Right now, we're at 2. I think we can get to 4. I really do. All right, we are about halfway through. We are past the bottom of the hour. No matter how you listen, watch, play, it is always a vibe. DTL, back on Stadium in 3 seconds. Okay, welcome back. We have crossed the bottom of the hour. It's 10:32 in the East. We also replay in the afternoon if you're watching the 4 p.m. broadcast. Thank you very much. We know that everybody has lives. Everybody has schedules, and that's why we try to put our schedule out there so as many people as possible can join what we are doing. Now, producer man, I just need a 2-shot. Me and Big Chuck, please. And Charles, this is your time to shine. This is where we do a 5-pack of questions about 5 different leagues over the weekend. But before we get to that, I found a soccer video that I could not believe how the game ended. So, without further ado, Notre Dame, Stanford, last 10 seconds. Producer man.
Ferguson draws level. Here's a Hail Mary of a shot that.
What? Oh, as a play-by-play guy, you dream about something like that. And how, if you're the keeper there, Charles, does that happen?
No idea. That was the Zlatan when he first come to the Galaxy. If you go and Google that one against the LAFC, it's kind of similar. It wasn't like that one, but I don't know how he lets that get over. And plus, it looked like the over 3.5 cashed.
I knew you would find something in that. let's cash that ticket in college soccer. I love it. All right, we always do 5-pack 5, and we divide it up over the days. Here you are, cashing in the dirty. You're up, Big Chuck.
France League 1 goes off today. Marseille versus Auxerre. Marseille team total over 2.5. Auxerre missing their starting center backs due to injury, and they're already conceding 2.6 goals on the road. Premier League, Brentford versus Bournemouth. Brentford first half team total over half a goal. This is our weekly auto play with the Bees scoring a first half goal in 8 straight and 9 of 10. Bundesliga, Leipzig versus Gladbach. Gladbach first half team total over half a goal. I like Gladbach as a dog in this spot. Plus Leipzig, they played on Tuesday and they've conceded a first half goal in 3 straight in all competitions. Serie Venezia versus Parma. Both teams to score in over 2.5, with Venezia conceding 1.7 goals and Parma conceding 1.6 goals. This one has 2-2 written all over it. Lastly, MLS, Inter Miami versus Atlanta United. Inter Miami team total over 2.5. They come in averaging 2.16 goals at home, and this will be the third and final playoff match between these two.
They are a juggernaut when it comes to offensive soccer, no doubt. Well done, Big Chuck, as always, your 5-pack of plays for the weekend. Now, we've got a big weekend in college football. It's always also a big weekend at the theater. And in theaters today, I'll be going this afternoon. It's the one and only Weekend in Taipei.
You said no more secrets.
Shut up and let me drive. Okay, Mom, who is this guy?
I'm an undercover DEA agent to finally take Kwong's operation now.
Bring me my wife, and you killed John Mahler.
So you came back after all this time for Kwong, but not for me?
I just need one weekend. I'm not gonna lose you again. So you haven't changed a bit.
Thanks.
Weekend in Taipei, now playing only in theaters.
You're damn right, playing today. By the way, shout out to John. He says, Charles saying Siri, is my favorite part of the entire Friday show. It might be mine too. All right, guys, we know the rankings came out this week, AB, for the first time. And not much is a surprise other than maybe Ohio State being ahead of Georgia, but that's okay. All of the conference champions will get a bye. But as I look at the games this weekend, I could almost say that the playoffs are already kind of starting. Because if you go to Alabama and LSU, the loser of that game probably is out. So I think the playoffs are doing exactly what we wanted them to do in early November.
They definitely are. And first off, back to that soccer announcer. They totally caught him off guard because his call was, oh, and then he just stopped. Like, bro, that's the best you got? All right, now, Alabama, LSU, you're 100% right. And this is in Baton Rouge at night, Tiger Stadium. Woo, it's going to be a fight, man. You're right, man. Whoever loses is going to be done. But look at Georgia and Ole Miss. All right, Georgia played Florida last week, Ole Miss this week, and Tennessee next week. That 3-game stretch is crazy strong. I like LSU money line.
Wow. LSU on the money line. It's home dogs on a Saturday in November. Bama, I don't want to be in this spot because, DG, let me come over to you. We talked about some of the early season. Oh, it's okay. They lost that game. It's different now. It's 12 teams in the playoffs. And now we get to November and say, wait a second. 1 or 2 losses back in September. Now your backs are against the wall, and that's what we're seeing in this matchup.
Coach, you should be very familiar with this. This is what you call the old loser leaves town match. And this is what we got today with Alabama and LSU. Alabama has to go into LSU and has to get the win at -2.5. So that's what we're looking at here. If you lose Alabama, you're out. LSU, if you lose, you're out as well. Loser goes home. No playoffs for you.
I don't know what's more shocking, that you're putting that on the show or the fact that you had it to put on said show. Have you had a previous career as a luchador in Mexico? Perhaps?
Nacho Libre.
That's Roy Mysterio.
yeah, really. Mysterio's right now red hot. You could do worse. Dom's, I think he's the biggest heel probably in the last 20 years. Blasphemy, I know. Big Soupy, let me come over to you. Because normally when Alabama plays LSU, whoever's a home team is the favorite. I know it's only 2.5, but that 2.5 from a betting perspective can be ginormous. And Alabama has shown, whether it's at Georgia, big lead, let them come back. Going to Vandy and getting beat. They are not the Bama from years past with Nick Saban. So how comfortable would you be laying that 2.5?
Not at all, because I think LSU is going to come out and win this game. There is something wrong with Jalen Milroe. He used to use that rushing and that passing balance to move the offense. The rushing isn't there. He's averaging under 4 yards per carry, actually under 3 yards per carry in the last 4 games. Maybe it's an ankle injury, maybe it's some kind of injury, but that's been stifling the Alabama offense. And the Alabama defense, they give up third down conversions like DG gives up luchador mass apparently, and that's why I think LSU they're looking better.
Whoa.
But
That was bad.
yeah.
Bad. AB, was that the worst trash talk in the history of the show right there?
It wasn't great, but I've heard much worse. So
Charles, save Soupy. I couldn't let Soupy continue. I just couldn't. Charles, help me. Help me on Alabama LSU. You're right there, right in the middle of it all.
And this one was at -3 also. So hopefully people got in on LSU +3. DeBoer, he struggled going to Vanderbilt. Imagine him coming to LSU under the lights in Death Valley. So, yeah, 11 LSU catching the points as a home dog. And I think it's going to be a defensive battle. I think this is going to be lower scoring.
I would never schedule Alabama. If Alabama's on my schedule at LSU, it's always at night. You cannot play this game in the afternoon. Or that's just a fumble. Just like Soupy just did about 15 seconds ago. Oh, Soupy. AB, let's move over now to Georgia and Ole Miss. You talk about backs against the wall. Lane Kiffin and company this year, they've had a couple of stumbles, and now you see their ranking is at 16. But we believe, we've discussed it here on the show, that the SEC will get at least 3, perhaps 4 teams in. So if Ole Miss can win this week over a number 2 ranked team and win out, you just never know.
You never know, indeed. And look, Ole Miss is playing good. Look what they did last week, man. This team is solid. Lane Kiffin's a hell of a coach. And he's faced Georgia before. He's faced it as the head coach of Tennessee. He's faced him with Alabama. Like, he understands exactly what time it is, as does Kirby Smart. They looked a little slow to start coming out of the bye week last week. Yeah, man, this is going to be a hell of a game. I'll take Georgia money line. I'm not going -2.5. This game's going to get weird.
I would never lay those 2.5 points. By the way, do not forget for you premium members out there, crew members, you get weekend wages today, 3 p.m. Eastern time, hosted by DG. Now, on that show is Mark. He's better days ahead, and he just had the line of the day for the show in the chat. He said, and I quote, Soupy, Peyton just called and offered to help you on the trash talk. Oh, young Peyton, probably still sleeping in from the Thursday club, and somehow, Soupy, they get him inside your head. I'm going to give you Georgia Ole Miss and just sit back and see what comes out of your mouth.
Georgia Ole Miss, I'm going with the over already. I am going with Georgia with the win. I don't care that Carson Beck has been turning the ball over. I still love the way that they could score 30 points against Ole Miss. And just Ole Miss, they fumble at times. It happens when Jackson Dart gets too much pressure. I like Georgia's run defense. I like the pressure defense. I think they could get the Jackson Dart. And if they do, that's how they're going to come out and win this game. I think they save their season.
Did you guys happen to see, by the way, there's twins apparently that are, one's dating Carson Beck and the other one dates the player in the NFL.
It's not Cavalier. Cava.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kristen Cavallari. She go from Jay Cutler to one of them.
No, it's definitely not Kristen Cavallari. But it is.
Yeah, her boyfriend's younger.
Yeah.
Cavender twins. That's what it is.
Thanks, Cheesy. Appreciate that.
First, Big Cheesy knows.
Thank you, Cheesy. Our resident benefactor, Robert Bibbo, who today gifted another 5 memberships. Thank you, Roberto. He says, hey, Soupy, you need to let coach you up on the trash talk game. Maybe so. I was voted one time. I told you guys I had the best goatee in the game, People Magazine. I was once voted, this is not a lie, top 5 best mic men in the WWE. I'm just saying. Soupy, if you ever want, you can call me privately. I won't tell anybody. I won't make it public. We can just work on it. And then we can come back next Football Friday and really get after DG. I really feel like we can do that. What do you think?
I feel like DG does that on his own.
Does not a good start on his own?
Not a good start.
No.
That was not a good start. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. All right. It's a vibe. I don't know what that vibe is, but damn it, we are having a good time today on Football Friday. Still to come. You guys know it's the Whiparound. We got to get more football for you. and then you're going out into the weekend on your own. Ladies and gentlemen, you OGs, hit that like button. Do not forget, we are live. It's DTL. It's Football Friday only on Stadium. All right, you degenerates out there. I got a little bit distracted, and I feel like we just created a new segment because we have AB, we have Rant Wednesday, we have Monday Mishaps, but we have 2 wrestling fans on the show right now. I wonder if maybe we need to create a promo contest amongst the crew.
Oh, we absolutely have to have a promo contest, right? All right, now, yeah, I mean, you got to set them up 30 seconds to a minute. I mean, you know better than me. You set the parameters there, but oh, hell yeah, that absolutely has to happen because I'll see you at SummerSlam. No,
Brother.
By the way, did you guys see the Hulkster at the, Trump brought him twice, which is a little shocking, but did you guys see him at Madison Square Garden?
He's got to gimmick that shirt a little bit more.
He does. He needs to gimmick the shirt. He could not rip it apart. And it wasn't 1983 anymore at MSG. Oh, DG, I know you're a big wrestling guy. How disappointing was that for the Hulkster?
He's got this thing stretched out so far. He's pulling up a magic gimmick. He's like, where does this thing end? That's what it looked like to me. Is he can't get this thing shredded fast enough,
bro? It looks like the Titans' offensive line when they're trying to protect. They're just holding everywhere, man. You're just seeing jerseys left and right.
It was great.
Oh my God, it's so good. Robbie says Hulkster and Carby influencing people on who to vote for. We are an Idiocracy, the movie. Maybe that'll be the next one that we promote. Who knows? But yeah, watching Cardi B read off of a phone and then defend it the next day, that was all I needed to see. You're a big Cardi B guy, right, Charles?
Who's that?
That's a perfect answer. Soupy, that's how it's done right there.
That is how it's done right there. Oh, my goodness. All right, we're having a good time today. We really, really are. It's a full weekend. We got a lot of basketball tonight. We got a lot of college basketball tonight, football over the weekend. But, we still have one more very, very important segment that we have to get to. So we are back live on Stadium, on Amazon Prime, on YouTube TV in just 3 seconds. All right, welcome back. We are live on Stadium all over the place. Do not forget, if you missed any part of the show, you can watch on demand on our YouTube page. But also, we replay on Stadium at 4 p.m. Eastern to get the afternoon block always set to go. Now, today I got the best crew in the business, and we already talked a little bit about it, but didn't get into it deeply because Sunday night we have Primetime Live right here on Stadium. And I encourage you all to watch it live because last night, we probably cashed 6 to 10 tickets just on the show. Hashtag it pays to watch live. So, AB, as we look at Sunday Night Football a little bit deeper, the Lions have now moved up to the second betting favorite. The Chiefs have been number 1 for several weeks, but then it was the Ravens. But the Ravens have fallen. The Lions move up, and then you got Ravens and Bills behind them. At least that's according to DraftKings. At -3.5, this shows us the books really believe in the Lions. Do you think this will go up to 4?
No, because the Texans should be getting Nico Collins back, Adam Watt with Tank Dell, and I'll tell you exactly how to play this one. First half, you're going to see the Lions come out. They've covered the first half spread 16 of the last 21 games, and Houston's problem is starting slow. Now that they get their dog back at wide receiver, they're going to come out fast too. A lot of points first quarter, first half.
DG, you're our first half guy. You love the first quarter bets. Why would AB just say that? What have you seen from these two teams that would say, hey, let's really look at the first 30 minutes?
I believe, and I don't know this stat exactly off the top of my head, but I believe that whatever his name is for the Detroit Lions, quarterback name.
Jared Goff.
Oh, Jared Goff.
Thank you. I'm an idiot. He started I think 5 of the 9 games. He started off his first 10 passes have been perfect. So that's the reason is they're scripting this game in a sense where it's good, easy passes, but honestly, they're kind of, firing on all cylinders. And so starting off hot is their key to win because when they can get ahead, they're very good at playing ahead.
They really, really are. Soupy, at some point, Z-Man said this on the show the other day. He said, when you get to a certain point in the season, you have to stop talking about what they need to do and say, this is who they are. And at week 10, I think we're past that point. And who the Detroit Lions are is a team that's won on the road. They've won in rain. They beat big teams. They've scored a ton of points. They scored 52 points with Jared Goff only throwing for, wait for it, 85 yards, and they scored 52 points. Translation, they've got a ton of people that can get the job done on offense and on defense. Is this where they need to be this week to get to 8-1?
Absolutely. The foundation of every great team is at the line of scrimmage, and they have two of the best lines of scrimmage. Offensive line, allowing the second fewest pressure rate in the league. Defensive line, they can get the pressure. And I'm not liking the Texas offensive line right now. They've been a little shaky, and Nico Collins being back will help, but I don't think it's going to help enough. I love the Lions again in this spot.
Boy, Nico's been amazing. But when you come back as a wide receiver, Charles, and you're coming off an injury, but we also have to you also have to remember they're still a first-place team. They're 6-3. The Indianapolis Colts are 4-5. So this is still a first-place team, even though it doesn't feel like it, Charles.
That's why I like the Texans in this spot. Like I said, especially getting Nico back, that extra rest, motivated coming off that bad loss. I think that they'll want to put up their best performance. You know, they have to get up for the Lions. But if you do like the Lions, I did pull this up on DraftKings. If you like them to win the NFC, you can still get them at plus 190.
Wow, plus 190. I don't mind it. Nico makes a big, big difference. AB, do we have a showdown we need to confirm in the chat with you?
We do. Me and Aaron Bailey, a 20 membership showdown. He's taking Alabama money line. I've got LSU money line. We're not even putting spreads on this mug. So tell him, Mean Gene. I'll see.
I'll tell you what, Mean Gene.
Wow.
New York City. All right. Now, I know there's a lot of you that were not here at 10 a.m. I know there's a lot of you that can't come at 10 a.m. You got work, your breaks don't happen until right now. Don't worry. We have you covered. A little something we like to call the Whiparound. All right, AB, start us off. 10 seconds or less, one nugget on each game. Let's go.
Let's go. Moneyline parlay tonight. College football, Iowa and Memphis. Put them both together, minus 115. Also, college basketball, North Carolina, Kansas, first half, under 75 and new. Let's go.
Soupy, let's go.
Oklahoma and Missouri cannot pass right now. They are going to bleed this clock out to the under 41. Georgia and Ole Miss will pass a lot, and we're going to see a lot of scoring, the over 55.
DG.
Indiana's defense is better than people expect. That's the reason I went with the spread here. Indiana to win this game by 14, minus 130. Jacksonville State minus 9.5 at minus 120. They're the better team, just straight out. Have them win by 10. And then Texas State, if you like them on the spread, take that as well. But I love this first half team total over 13.5 at minus 140.
Big Chuck, we got our 5-pack. What do we got, big boy?
France League One going off today. Marseille team total over 2.5 with Auxerre conceding 2.5 goals on the road. Brentford, first half team total over half a goal. This is our auto play. They've scored in 8 straight. Gladbach, first half team total over half a goal, with Leipzig having played on Tuesday and conceding 3 first half goals in 3 straight in all competitions. Serie A, Venezia, Parma, both teams to score in over 2.5. Lastly, Inter Miami, team total over 2.5, where they average 2.6 at home.
Oh, I love it. I love it. All right, we've got a few housekeeping issues to take care of, and then we will get the hell out of Dodge. First and foremost, AB, who did the crew select today? We all played together on.
They are going with the over here. Take that over 158.5.
All right. I like it. College basketball on a Friday night. And finally, Rafi's stat of the day.
Go to college football. Take a look at this one. You've got Iowa here, all right? In 9 of Iowa's last 14 games, all right, they've hit the under in the first quarter and hit the under in the first half. 9 of the last 14. Iowa D handling business, son.
Wow. It doesn't seem like Iowa the last few years have done anything on offense. DG, you're our Big Ten guy. How has Iowa fallen so far off the path when you got Indiana, Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, now Oregon? You're not even in the top 5, and they used to be every year.
Yeah, their defense used to hold them in games. And last year, I believe it was his son that was the offensive coordinator, and they fired him thinking the guy they brought in this year would be much better, and they're still not firing on all cylinders or any cylinders at this point.
Wow. Charles, talk to me on this one. I mean, Raffy really had to dig deep for this one.
Yeah, but Iowa, all of a sudden, they become an over team when they're still laying those 40s and 41s. But if you look, Iowa games have been going over. But, yeah, in the past, this really held up. They were just dead unders for Iowa.
Boom. Soupy. I'm not even going to ask you about Iowa. We've got about a minute left in the show, and we're heading into the weekend. I need to get a gauge of your vibe after your day today.
I'm feeling good, man. I hit 3 of my 4 bets last night. I'm confident in my bets tonight and tomorrow and the next day and the day after that. Liddy said, if I hit my bets, I told him when I hit my bets. I'm confident. I feel good.
DG?
I don't know if I feel confident in that rant. I don't believe I feel confident in Soupy's picks. And so I don't feel confident in the weekend ahead for Soupy. I think he's going to have a dreary weekend, as we say.
Wow. AB, you want to bring us home about 15 seconds?
I do, Coach. Look, if we just keep following your bets, especially the point bands, all right, our bank accounts are going to be knee-high by the 4th of July. Feeling good. Nailed it last night. Congrats again, Coach.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What a good show. And everybody, we tease because we love, but this is what we love to do, and we can't do without all of you tuning in every single day, whether it's on YouTube or it's on Stadium. But now it's time for you to go out into the world. For you to pay it forward, be kind to one another, be honest with each other. It's the only way that this thing can work. And understand this, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. My Tiger, Lambo, my man from the Dirty Big Chuck, my man Soupy, DG from Memphis, Tennessee, AB doing all the work of the producer man behind the scenes, making the show look like $1 million. I am simply the coach. Try to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about every single day. DTL live on Stadium. Good luck.